You can prevent fall damage with a steering stick. The idea here is if you are using a control stick, you can fall from any height and not take any fall damage. The catch is if you're only using a steering stick, you just fall off. So what we want to do is attach something, anything to the bottom, like this rock, for example. I tested it with this rock and success. I mean, there's a chance you'll never see that steering stick ever again, but confirmed. So you guys liked our last video, and I don't mind having an excuse to play more Zelda, so we're tackling more myths and Tears of the Kingdom, as well as retesting some from our last video that the comments want us to take on again. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, be sure to click that like button and let us know if we should do more. Sage spirits will pose for the camera. In our last video, I tested this one out, and the results were pretty conclusive. All of the sage spirits do not want to be on camera. They'll run away and get out of frame. But a lot of you suggested that maybe they're just trying to be helpful and get out of the way to the camera, and that if we turn the camera around for selfie link, they'll pose with me. Well, I tried that, and these spirits just do not want to be on camera. At least I can turn the camera towards them in this mode, but as far as selfies and poses, busted sadly. Lynels can be trapped by chests. I've heard that Lynel roars can't actually break chests, even when Ultra Hand together. That gave me an idea. In order to test this, I had to use all the amiibo I had. Okay, I didn't have to, but it was the easiest thing I could think of. Anyway, once I had an abundance of chests to use, I made a nice little cage to trap that Lynel over there. Neither rain nor lightning could stop me, and once it was complete, I just had to slide it over the Lynel's head, and look at that. Not moving. In fact, all he did after this was shoot arrows at me, even if I was right next to him. So this one confirmed. Cooking pots break enemy armor instantly. I already showed that cooking pots are amazing for breaking ore and indestructible walls, but you guys also let me know that it's possible to break enemy armor this way. And I said, let them cook. So, of course, I had to try it out, and turns out, yeah, if you see an armored enemy, just pull out a cooking pot arrow, boom, so confirmed. Hammer King suggested the myth that we get women. Busted. You can recall thrown items. Recall is a really useful ability, and I don't know what kind of magic Nintendo infused into this game or deal with the devil they made, but either way, it works so well. So, if you throw any item, even ones that you didn't mean to throw, you can recall. Turns out, yeah, you can, and it's actually pretty easy to do. Still doesn't work on arrows though. Any light source can dispel gloom damage. If you get hit in the depths or stand on gloom puddles for too long, Link will have one of his hearts corrupted with gloom damage, limiting the max health we can have. So in order to dispel it, you can either return to the surface or go to one of the light routes. Well, the myth here is that you can use any light source instead. I tried the Zonai Spotlight, a fire, and a mirror, but I still had gloom hearts, so sorry guys, this one's busted. Landing on a dragon without fall damage. I love all these dragons. There's one I like a little bit more, but we won't get into that here. I wish the light dragon wasn't so hard to get to, but any of these dragons will work with our testing. The idea here is that if you land on a dragon's back from any height, you will not take fall damage. So I tried it a few times, plummeted onto the back of this one, and immediately stood up as if I was wearing the glide suit. Surprisingly, this one is confirmed. Talking to a korok recharges your battery. The idea here is that if you're out of batteries, a quick way to get a full charge back is by talking to an NPC, like, say, a defenseless korok that has to go with you wherever you put him. My setup for this test was, well, a bit flawed, but I figured it out eventually. And side note, koroks don't really want to talk to you while they're on fire. But if the NPC still wants to talk to you and your batteries are running low, then yes. Talking to them immediately restores all your battery. Confirmed. You can create infinite ice with a waterfall. Let's say you wanted a lot of ice, and I mean a lot of ice. Instead of throwing an ice root into the water to get one plank of ice, you can fuse that one chunk of ice onto your weapon to create more, just by swinging your sword or weapon or spear. But let's take that even a step further. Apparently, they also say that if you do a downward slash with this weapon down a waterfall, it will create ice blocks all the way down. I tested this, and yeah, we made a lot of ice. I even got a free fish out of it, but results may vary. Confirmed. A battery keeps Zonai devices active after walking away. One thing I discovered pretty quick testing these is that if I turned on a Zonai device and walked away, it just shuts off, even if I have plenty of batteries left. Well, this myth states that if I attach a small or large battery to a device, it will keep on using that battery until it runs out, no matter how far away I am. And through my testing, it looks like this one is confirmed. I guess Link is just kind of a Wi-Fi signal, but for battery power. Beam emitters do more damage the farther away you are. With the discovery of the battery, it's time to retest the myth from our first video. In it, we determined that the beam emitter does the same amount of damage whether it was close or far away. But we kind of messed up. We were wearing all of our armor, so let's retest in our underwear. Please do not sound clip that. Up close, we take 3 hearts of damage, and if we go all the way to the end where the beam trail falls off, we still take 3 hearts of damage. So it looks like this one is busted again. Cannon arrow. So this myth states that if you fuse a Zonai cannon to an arrow, you can essentially create your own personal cannon shot. Well, that sounds awesome, so I tested it, and it seems like that's actually pretty true. Though personally, I'd rather use a bomb arrow to have the same effect, but hey, maybe you have a ton of cannons in your inventory, so go off. Confirmed. The beam arrow. In the same vein, can you create your own beam emitter by attaching it to an arrow? Sadly, no. The beam only activates once you fire the arrow, and at that point it's going way too fast to actually do any real damage. This one's busted. You can shield surf with a rocket. Okay, so yes, you can absolutely do this. Definitely gives you a boost forward, but it's not like you're not still going to be falling if you use it midair. 10 out of 10 for cool points, but confirmed technically busted in practicality. Fusing a fan to your shield negates fall damage. I mean, it just makes sense, right? The air bikes use fans, and fans in general are used to make flying vehicles, so if you have one activated on your shield under your feet, it should cushion your fall, right? Well, unfortunately, not so much. I still face-planted testing this so many times, so that's another one busted. Taking away a construct's hands and feet makes them deal no damage. The idea here is that the constructs only really deal damage with their hands and their feet. So if you just, take those away, they'll be harmless. I found a construct and practiced my ultra hand, and wouldn't you know it, no matter what he did, he just could not hit me. Maybe he just needs to get closer to me, but this one is confirmed. At least until he reconstructs into a cube, then we go back at square one. Fusing a Keese eye to a rocket makes it a homing rocket. When you use a Keese eye on an arrow, as long as you're aiming near an enemy, it will curve the arrow and hit its target. But what if you did the same to a rocket? Are homing missiles in this game? Are Zonai and monster parts compatible? Well, I tested it and not really. It kind of just goes in a straight line, and the eye even fell off at one point, so that's unfortunately busted. Upgrade each part of Froggy suit to prevent slipping on ice walls. The last time I tried this one, I didn't have a fully decked out Froggy suit, but some people said that if you upgrade it fully, it would fix my slipping problem and make this myth go from busted to confirmed. So I tried the upgrade process, and it didn't work on the first upgrade, and it didn't work on the second upgrade. But after the third upgrade, you get the set bonus Slip Proof, and now I can stick to any surface at any time. So confirmed. You can parry a cannon shot. Parrying is pretty difficult, but this could potentially be really helpful when fighting Zonai constructs that are equipped with them. So I gave it a shot, and it gave me a few of its own, but if you can manage to get the timing just right, it is actually possible to parry a cannon shot. Confirmed. Fire Talos and Ice Talos hearts work the same as gems. Fusing a ruby or sapphire to a weapon or shield has gotten me through tough times when I didn't have the right armor for a particular environment. When I heard that the much more durable Frost and Igneo Talos hearts would work just as well, I had to give it a try. And as you can see, equipping them to my shield definitely gives me a boost in hot and cold areas. It just won't save you from the bitter cold of the Gerudo Highlands or the flames of Death Mountain. Confirmed. Fusing 2 boomerangs together makes it go farther. Who doesn't love a good boomerang? You chuck it with all your might and it still comes back to you like a good friend. There was a rumor going around that fusing 2 boomerangs together would double the distance they travel before coming back. So I busted up some lizard foes to try it out, and it looks like they maybe died in vain because it does not work. It goes just as far as a single boomerang, but it does look way cooler. Busted. A hoverstone boomerang stops midair. Those Zonai hoverstone platforms come in pretty handy when you need a breather, but getting them to activate isn't always ideal. I've seen some people fuse them to arrows to shoot them into convenient positions, but you lose the arrow when you do that. I need those. So I tried fusing a hoverstone to a boomerang to see what would happen, and voila! It works exactly as intended, and you get the boomerang back without a scratch. It's like a free unfusing that you can do as much as you want. Confirmed. Giving Dazzle Fruit fused swords to enemies makes them stun themselves. But goblins are not very smart. I pulled a prank on this one by giving it a sword fused with a Dazzle Fruit. And if my calculations are correct, when they attack the shield, it should… Yep, there it is. They stun themselves. Confirmed. You can weaponize bees by fusing a honeycomb to your weapon. Courser bee honeycombs are great for stamina-boosting meals and elixir, but I have something else in mind for this particular honeycomb. By fusing it to a sword or spear and attacking with it, it looks like I can harness the anger of the Corsair bees to do my bidding. They don't actually do a whole lot of damage, but it is still very cool and makes me feel like a druid. Confirmed. There's still a ton of myths we could test out in Tears of the Kingdom, so if you know of any you would like to test, leave a comment below. And if you'd like to be listed here with these fine folks, join our Patreon. Thanks for watching.